Okay, guys. Simmer down. We won't start till everybody sits down. You in the Pickle Rick shirt, you are formally invited to take a seat. Thank you. Okay, as you all know, Mr. McShane is out. So I'll be your sub, Mr. Richmond.
Why he out? Why is he out?
He's out due to, it says, a severe case of priapism, whatever that is. He's given me a lesson plan, though, so it looks like we're going over macro management. Sounds exciting. You all have the worksheet? Just pass them back. Just pass them. Thank you. So anybody, raise your hand if you know what a macro is. According to the seating chart, you must be... Mr. Kelly, go ahead.
A single instruction that expands automatically into a set of instructions to perform a particular task?
Very good, very good. A macro is a single instruction that expands automatically into a set of instructions to perform a particular task. But that is exactly how it's worded in the worksheet, so... kind of want to put your own spin on it. Not quite as impressive, but hey, we're here to learn. We're learning. It's good. It's fine. Specifically, can anybody... I haven't asked the question yet. You can put your hand down. Can anybody tell me how I would use a macro in Final Fantasy XI? Okay, you were eager. Go ahead. Smiracle.
To cast all your trust magics at the same time?
That's right. That's very good. So you could write, theoretically, a macro to put all your trust magics all at once, so you don't have to do them individually. So that's a very useful skill. So go ahead and turn your worksheets over with me, and we're going to look at some of the different commands we could do with the macro. So we've got item, so that's slash item. Okay, that's an easy one. But what's another one?
Job
Very good. You've got job abilities, and so that's slash JA. Very simple. But after you specify the type of command, you've got to put a pronoun after. So this is where it gets a little tricky, guys. So after, or girls, pronoun. So after you put the command, the pronoun could be, for instance, me or T are the two most common. Anybody know what T stands for in this scenario?
Target.
Target. Very good. Very good, Ashley.
My pronoun is tree.
Okay, Willow, that's very good to know. But back to macros. The most common ones, me and T. But let's say we were going to do something a little different here. So if I was doing the macro for sneak attack, who do you think would be the pronoun?
Target or T?
Wrong. Yeah. It's a tricky one. I'll give you credit. It's a tricky one. So sneak attack actually targets me because it's a buff. And then you attack the target. So you could do one after for the target. But we'll get to that. That's Mr. McShane will talk to you more about that. But okay, can anybody do just an example of how we would write this out completely? Nobody wants to come to the board? Okay, that's fine. We're shy today, I get it. New teacher, whatever. So for instance, what I would do if I was doing steal to get a macro, I would do slash JA, steal, the word, and then a guillemot, then T for target, and then an end guillemot. Okay? So that way we just hit a button, steal, bam. So efficient. But before we stop here and with the macros and watch Mr. Holland's Opus for the second time, I just want to go over one more thing, and that is inside the bottom of your worksheet, if you have two words, for instance, sneak attack, what we're going to do is put parentheses.
Quotation marks.
No, you're right, quotation marks. Quotation marks, sorry. And then if it's one word, you don't need to do that. Important, very important. It won't work if you don't do it that way. Wow, you guys have been really great today. I just know Mr. McShane would be swelling in pride. You behaved very well. You didn't light anything on fire, so I'm happy. So let's go ahead and dim the lights. Ash, can you hit the lights? Not with your not with your fist. No. Hit the. Should have been more specific. I'm sorry. Flip the lights. Thank you, and enjoy Mr. Holland's Opus.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
So the second week, I really made it a point to get my macros under control. So you can do things like set one for check. This is where I actually went through and I labeled them so that I didn't have to memorize which one was which. So it's a little handy. Red crab, hell yeah. And so I thought I got a Chocobo at the last quest of last week, but turns out I still had a little bit more of that quest to go. So the first thing I did is I got a Raptor, and the Raptor needed some food. Or the Raptor Waptor, as Maputo would say. So there you go. That's how you get the trainer's whistle and the Raptor companion. But it turns out I had a red crab all along. And so once I got my red crab, I was feeling pretty good. Who needs a Chocobo when you got a crab? And I upset a woman in the game, just like real life. And just like real life, I kind of just did a weird shrug and clapped my doll to invisibility, just like real life. But here's some of the main quests. We lost a, what's it called? Teddy Mount. The friar. I believe there's a friar. Back to the Chocobo quest. So on my quest to get a Chocobo, I had to go from Juneau back to Sandoria. And so I was like, okay, I gotta go to Sandoria. So I just talked to the first person I saw in the stables, and she's like, oh, here's a Chocobo. Can you take it to Bastock Mines? And I was like, I don't know where that is, but sure. And you'll be rewarded by our associates. So I was like, okay, this is how you get the Chocobo. Right? This is my first Chocobo ride. And then, oh look, Bastock. Let me explore the city. It's so beautiful. There's so many interesting things. Oh, Crystal, let me go back to Sandoria. I'm tired of this place. And plus, that wasn't even the right quest, so I started back up on the Chocobo Quest to get my first Chocobo. So some Chocobos were acting strangely, so they decided to entrust us adventurers in chocobo raising. But I still had to go back to Juneau. That's when the chocobos turned out they knew each other or something. I don't know. And here's some of the main story again. So we're rescuing that Teddy Mount Friar guy. So we went through this orc compound. Save the children! You know, I was ready for a fight, you know. I may have over-leveled a little bit, but I think you'll see it was still a bit of a challenge, so... I mean, look at these guys. With a name like Fodder Chief and Sure Shot Snaggat. Snatgat? Snatgat. You don't want to mess with that, so I was like, hey, gotta bring my trust on board. This is before I thought about doing all the trusts in one macro, so... I'll fix that next week, don't worry. And I was like, oh, I'm scared. Their strength is impossible to gauge, so I don't know if I can handle these guys. Better get sneak attack ready. I was prepared for quite a bloody battle. And then Treon showed up to take credit for saving Teddy Mount. When there's a little boy who needs attention, Treon is there. They was just checking on the mayor of one of the places, Ablard, bringing in some bee pollen clumps. And who would show up? Gilgamesh. Wow. Gilgamesh gave me a little thing to give to Asasio, so that I could get my sub job, and not my sub job I had at the beginning of this video, a different sub job. He was like, give me a damselfly worm or a Gilgamesh introductory letter. Oh, wait a minute, look what I got. And I realized it's a key item, so I could just talk to him again. It's important to note, it can't exceed half of your main job level. He's explaining it right now, but if you were a level 20 warrior, level 10 white mage, but your white mage would only be like a 5. And so this is probably the most interesting part of the story so far. So you've got question mark, question mark, question mark. And thank you, YouTuber commenter from the last video, disclaiming putting me on the Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. I'd done one or two of them, but I didn't realize how important they were. Getting that sub job and this stuff here, so essentially she like Samurai Jack this shit. Came from the future. And this is the Chocobo Egg that I was given after completing the Chocobo Quest. At this point all I can do is watch it. So I watched it a few times. Played some Mozart. Put some Baby Einsteins on the headphones and just put it on the egg. And then I decided to keep going on that main story. So I had to help out with some drills. So first I talked to this guy. And he said, hey, go over there. And so I went over there. And then I talked to this guy. And then he told me to keep going. He told me to go down to that guy. His captain's down there. Okay. And so I talked to that guy. And then he said one of his soldiers is injured and missing. And so I talked to that guy. And he said, don't stand there. Help us search. And then I talked to that guy. He said, I don't know anything. And I saw a guy down there, but I couldn't really talk to him. And so I kept going until I talked to Loris. And she just said, any sign of him? And then another guy said, come this way. So I came this way. And he said, look, a cave. And so I went in the cave, went past the snippers, and look at that. Rulon was right there all along. And he said, I came here without my sword. And so I was like, okay, I got to give him a sword. So that's not too difficult. I'll just go back to Sandoria, sold all my earth crystals, traded him the bronze sword, and guess what? He's like, I appreciate the offer, it's not mine. Turns out, he only wants his bronze sword. he's very persnickety about having his own bronze sword. So you gotta go back to the first guy. Give him his bronze sword. How he knows which one is which, I don't know. Maybe he put his initials on it. Then you go back to the captain. And then he gives you a little thing. And you take that back to the guard. And he acts very impressed. And then you can do the Devoy report. So there's an orc stronghold in Devoy. It's your boy Devoy. And so you find this guy hiding behind a tree, like a wuss. And he says he's got the report, but he lost it. It's near a crucifixion mound. So I guess orcs crucify people. That's good to know. So I was like, okay, gotcha. Let me get all my trust going. Let me prepare for a big battle. I mean, we're outnumbered. We're going into the compound. I don't know how deep I gotta go. I maxed out my alter egos. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. He's not that strong, but he's running around like a madman. Some of these guys, I can tell we're gonna get swarmed. I've just got a bad feeling about that. Look at how many guys there are. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're about to get ambushed right here. There's some nice guys up there, though. Okay. So you just gotta find this crucifixion mound, and okay, there's some guys up there. I don't know how to get there. Oh, this looks like a crucifixion mound. Oh, here's the document. Okay, that wasn't that hard. And so, as my sub job, I wanted to become a Paladin. Because I thought, Paladin, that's useful. I'll be able to heal, but I'll be strong. I had to get some magic water. Wow. And you have to bring it back to Balasal. And then he lets you be a Paladin. But only after you solve his riddles. And boy, does Balasal have some riddles. My favorite trust. His name is Kupofried. He kind of speaks for himself. I just thought about the fact that he's called Kupofried and he's got the KFC face. I literally just put that together. Holy shit. That's good. That's pretty funny. And so I got the Night Soul from the well. And that's how you become a Paladin. So you bring the Night Soul to Balasal. He says knight, but he means Paladin. But I wish I could be a knight. Can you become a knight in this game? And so I decided to change my sub job. I haven't even changed jobs. And now I'm going to change sub jobs. Wow. So I become a Paladin. And this is where I find out that you have to level up each thing individually. Which somebody may have told me, but So I've got my sub job as Thief and my main job as Paladin. And let me just equip... Oh, can't equip anything because I'm too low level now. No base lard for me. Guess I gotta get some new gear. Okay, let me put on my new equipment that I got. Got my new equipment looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Really. Modest. Sex. E. I have to give it a 6.8. Don't look up. And that's because even as I become more comfortable in this game and enjoy my experience with it, the flaws become more apparent. As I get deeper into these quest lines and they become more complex, and the lack of any logical quests tracking causes me to consult the wiki about every 5 seconds, it's not as fun of an experience. It doesn't feel organic either. I could hear people in the back arguing, hey, this was a conscious choice of the game developer, so that you actually had to work for it, you had to look, but we've got magical maps. They specifically call them magical maps. Can you not at least update my map? If I go to King Rampier's tomb, so I know where it is, would my character not just be like, oh, King Rampier's tomb, oh, there it is? I'm like, seriously? That's all I'm asking for. And remember, I'm wasting my life, so you don't have to waste yours.